to lead out James Dean for the final battle in our qualifying showdown. Oh, are you serious? This is going to be an insane weekend. Bumper parts spread across the track. Fog lights out. Oh! Wow! Big accident. Wow, and nobody see that coming.
Okay, we have movement from both drivers.
And it looks like both guys could be okay. Wycheck fires through, Dean fires through. Wycheck on the brakes early, doesn't get on throttle. Dean can't slow the car down and sandwiches. He tried
so hard.
He comes in so fast and he just couldn't slow the car down. And you know the scary thing for James is the back end of that RTR Mustang.
You're gonna see it
in the door. Look at this, you're gonna see the back end of that Mustang. Oh, sandwich! Wycheck against the wall. Oh my God!
Jeez.
That is a bad accident.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, thankfully Piotr Vincek, it looks like okay. He's gonna feel all of that tomorrow though.
Oh, I'm going to say now that's probably one of the worst ones we've seen so far in Masters, because that was rear crash structure to the door and pinned, and James was trying to get himself out of that situation. And look at him instantly looking over to see outside zone, but look at Kvir, he's on an absolute hunt this weekend. He wants a podium, he wants a taste of the champagne as he flicks it towards the door, and look at this from Kvir, no messing around as they both get into outside zone 4. A lot of wobbling from Jason Benet as Benet now tries to open the door and pull away. Dials on big angle, but he can't shake the Norwegian as Kvir goes for the door once again. He goes for the front wheel, both into this outside zone. And look at Kvir, wheel to wheel, and he makes contact and wrecks the car.
Oh, man. Everything looked like Torna Kvir had such a massive advantage all the way through this, but he gets into the side of Jason Benet, who is now on the Kvir. Jason Benet, everything looks good here. Bit of a left foot brake. And then he starts to add a bit more angle. That front wheel on front wheel looks like it's what did it. He just catches that front wheel a little bit, and then it just eats that front and then pushes him into the wall. Nowhere to go.
I'm just trying to watch the replay. Like, you see that Benet's on the left foot braking, but is he drastically slowing?
Well, yeah, and that's going to be
come
you can see, I mean, yeah, Jason Benet's on the left foot brake. That wheel is locked up pretty heavily, but I mean, you're using it as a correction tool, and that whole suspension tore out. Wow.
Look at that coil over the lower. Already a big clutch kicker. Look at this, written and gone. That car gripped up to the max as he fires through. Spossum the bomber though, just going to stick to that qualifying line. They both get to outside zone 4. Spossum into the wall though, goes too deep and throws the battle away as Rittinen thunders down the track as the anti-lag rattles around the building. Across the line goes Rittinen and Spossum buried in the wall.
Slouch over to one side getting into that initiation, but Juha looks good. Spossum just a little bit too wide. Almost like he's adding in a touch too much throttle, and the car breaks free more than he was hoping for. Actually, he's coming in with a lot of momentum, and this is where these different camera angles will tell a different story. So from one way, it almost looks like, you know, he just adds a bit more throttle. In this case, he was coming in too quick, and the car just did not dig out of the...
Of Drift Masters, they fire in Hines into that first outside zone. Look at Van Oort, though, aggressive, tags the wall, tags Alan Hines, has to back out of it. Oh! Clint Van Oort mistimes the transition and hits the wall head on in front of the grandstand as Alan Hines will be shown a red flag, unsafe, to cross the circuit. And we wait to see if Clint Van Oort is okay. He's in the car moving. It looks like he's given the thumbs up to our marshal. And that is this on the replay. Look, he goes nice and he goes too wide into the wall, and it kind of upsets the line. And as he goes for it, he's lost in the smoke on the transition. Look at that, boom! And Clint Van Oort hits the wall.
Man, pulling it up from Race Data Labs in the Wally system, over 70 kilometers an hour is what he was doing, just head on into the wall. Oh,
there we go. We've got the onboard from it as he transitions, and he sees it. Oh, look at that, the way he shrugs. And this is why these guys wear all of the best safety gear. We're right in the top 16 awaits as they fire into that first outside zone. Oh, and Clint Van Oort tags the side of Jakob Kroll. Slow initiation for Kroll, and he stands on the foot brake there as he comes through the middle of the circuit. Contact once again. Jakob Kroll puts it into a spin, and Clint Van Oort has to take avoiding action into the wall.
Yeah, well, we expected some carnage, and as you alluded to earlier on, for these drivers, I mean, it's just leave it all out here, and right now they are leaving many, many body parts. Right off the first clip, all more or less kick off. Even in that transition, did Clint Van Oort get into the back of Jakob Kroll? And that's what ended up pushing him out. So the judges do have Chris Witowski, as you talked about, the EVS judge, able to scrub through, take a look at all these different camera angles, and they're already looking at that transition to see where the drivers were, if they were slowing down in the right.
There would have been more teams out there helping everyone else. But look, this is the impact yesterday. I mean, from a mechanic perspective, I would have said there's a slim chance of getting that car back out for qualifying, given the time they had. But the paddocks, the teams in the paddock were like, no, he'll be there.
We're going to do
We'll
it.
make sure he's there.
Yeah.
And obviously, as he fires through, Manoa now trying to keep up with the pace as he fires in on the side of Dwayne McKeever. McKeever fulfills outside zone 1. You can barely see Manoa in the smoke as he pops through the smoke on that inside zone. It's a beautiful line from Manoa. Look at this. Creeps up onto the door once again, but McKeever squeezes the throttle, tags the back end off the wall, and now hammers through the centre of the circuit. Can't shake the Japanese driver, though, as Hiroyo Manoa puts on an absolute masterclass. Both guys get into the wall. Manoa tags the wall and puts himself in, and McKeever carries on going.
Wow, wow, crazy. And this is what I'm talking about. Dwayne drives on such an edge all the way through the track. And what I'm wondering is, did Dwayne hit the wall first? And Manoa, because of his ability to mimic and how he's able to chase, kind of got led into that position as well. Created a situation in the chase. So Dwayne coming into this spot, it looks like Dwayne catches the wall, stays in throttle. Manoa catches it a little bit harder, being in the chase, and then kind of pops back on it. So the judges taking a hard look at this, and there's the spot right there. Our production team putting the camera in the perfect position. And the hard part is, too, with a chase driver, they're going to be offset. They're going to be a little bit further back just naturally, and that means if Dwayne makes a small touch, which, I mean, it was a decent bit of contact, now the car behind him is going to be further back due to just being in the chase, so that contact is now going to be a little bit more aggressive. So another tool that they're able to use in this is that Wally system.
To this first outside zone, Shanahan knows he can trust Dean. They've drove together constantly all season, off season. They taught each other the tricks of the trade. Jack was the master, and he understeers into the wall. Unbelievable.
What just happened to Jack Shanahan? Well, James Dean coming around this last zone, and he's going to see the sight of his neighbor in the wall in front of him. Jack out of the car immediately.
Yeah, Jack out of the car. Shanahan, but as you can see, a visibly enraged Jack Shanahan, and I wonder what happened.
Coming into this zone, just the power is gone.
Just gone.
So
look at this, jumps on it, nothing, bam, the car just understeers with the amount of grip they're running. Here we go from the onboard. You see Jack set the car up, goes for it, handbrakes once again, and nothing.
He's on rev limiter right before it shuts down, but I can't even see if electronics are running. It's tough. I see a bit of a flashing light there, but either way, that car and their camera in the perfect spot to capture it. Well, James Dean drives away.
Yeah, and there's oil that has come out of the